on, everybody? That's right, it's Ground Roots Outdoors, and I'm Aaron Morstead. And we are doing a test because one of my viewers asked me if the Wildcat CRX from Barnett, if you can shoot a mechanical broadhead through it, or should you just stick with fixed blade? Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, even with a heavy arrow, 450 grain arrow, that thing is still doing faster than my compound bow. So, and I shoot mechanicals and I get pass-throughs, and I'm a shoulder hugger. I love to attack that shoulder. Okay, and so I'm gonna show you what we got for today's test. Here we go. All right, here we go. I'm gonna show you what I got. So I'm gonna flip. All right, y'all. So that is not a scapula. That, if you can see that right there, is the ball joint. That would be the back hip. Now, this here is what we want to try to avoid, because that there's the femur or the humerus, whatever it is. But there's the ball. But right in here is a plate. Right there is a plate, just like a shoulder blade. And I'm going to be aiming all up in here, and we'll see how much penetration we can get. Now, I got a jug of water back behind there, so if we get penetration, we get to see some blood loss, hopefully. I know that doesn't mimic blood loss, but it's still cool to watch. So hang in there. We're going to shoot from 20 yards, and then we're going to try a 30-yard shot. And like I said, it's the Wildcat CRX from Barnett, and shooting a 450 grain arrow at a normally 280 feet per second, which is the IBO, which is just the suggested. It's still doing about 272 to 275. So, next time you see it, we're going to be shooting this thing, hopefully. All right, like I said, we're going to be shooting some broadheads. Y'all know what that is. That right there is the Swhacker, okay? That right there is the Swhacker. It's one of the leading selling. The reason why I'm doing a forward deploying, that means it activates and they come from forward back, okay? Because that's going to take a lot more energy to open that blade up. And that's why I'm doing it, because we'll see how much loss in speed and in kinetic energy and momentum. Remember, kinetic energy is nothing unless you have momentum, the weight to carry it through its object. Little physics for you. Here we go. Let's shoot. All right. Of course, you got Glenn as the backstop back there, so we'll see what happens. Here we go. All right, y'all. So, like I said, this is going to be quick. This is with the Swhacker 100 grain, 450 grains total, and we'll see what happens. Here we go. Let's try that again, because that wind blew the arrow. Probably not the best day to do this. All right, let's try this again. Boom, there we go. Now we're cooking with Crisco, boys and girls. Here we go, let's take a walk. There you go. All right, 20 yards. You saw it. Timed it perfectly. Ooh, hello. All right, so Swhacker just annihilated that bone, guys. Look at that. Wow. That's pretty impressive. You want to try it again? I do. Crazy thing is, guys, is those things are sharp still. And on top of that, the blades are straight, and I'll show you here after a bit. But let's back this thing up to 30 and let's see what happens. Y'all, 30 yards down there, and we're gonna shoot it again. Let's see what happens. All right, y'all, here we go. 30 yards. Wonder if it hit it. Let's find out. All right, it sounded like it hit, but I'm really not gonna know until we get up there. Like I said, 30 yards with a Swhacker, or as Rich Wilson would say, a Swhacker. Oh yeah, we got it right in the socket. And it went through. Holy cow, check it out. All the way through. Holy cow. That is right through the knuckle. Look at all the carnage too. Wow. All right. And check it out. You can see it fully opened, hopefully. Hopefully you can see that. That's 2-inch cut right there, y'all. Holy cow. All right, y'all. That's pretty brutal. Look at that. That thing is bent up, but I hit the hard. Look at that blade though. That thing is straight as an arrow. No pun intended. Anyway, but look at that. That side's bent up pretty good. But I'm pretty impressed. That was 30 yards and that thing punched through. And the only reason why it stopped was because Glenn was there. I firmly believe that. So I apologize to my person who had requested this, but here you are, and hopefully it helps you to decide, can the Wildcat CRX take care of mechanical broadheads? I think so, and that's a forward deploying broadhead too. So imagine what a rear deploying mechanical broadhead would have done. Probably wouldn't have stopped. If you like what you see, hit your thumbs up. If you like what you see and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and a little bell for notification. That way you get all my videos. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. See you next time.